Looking for something crazy and exciting? Well, that's what the Fast franchise is all about. Crazy stunts and even crazier cars. Gear up for the Fast franchise's iconic cars, especially Brian O'Connor's legendary bright orange Supra. Welcome to Infinite Mileage, where iconic cars have an outrageous Fast and Furious story behind them. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on awesome car content just like this. Starting out with number 10, Sean's Drift Mustang. There's a Mustang story in Tokyo Drift that anybody can appreciate. Originally owned by Sean's dad, this 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback gets the Frankenstein treatment, but in a good way. Sean and Han work their magic, taking the shell from Sean's old man and bolting in an engine taken from a Nissan Silvia, the Frankenstein treatment I was talking about. It was like a Japanese heart transplant in an American muscle car that left car guys confused and appreciative at the same time. You see, this wasn't just about a souped-up old American muscle car. It was a symbol of cultures colliding on the Tokyo Drift scene, and it worked because Sean beat DK. It's a touching story of transformation, victory, and hardship. Number 9, Suki's Honda S2000. Let's talk about the unsung hero of the Fast and Furious universe, Suki's Honda S2000 from Too Fast, Too Furious. It might not have the same fame as some of the other cars in the franchise, but it's hands down one of the best. The pink on pink aesthetic is a sight to behold. From the car to the interior and even Suki's outfit, it's all on point. But what makes this car legendary is its resilience. It pulls off a crazy jump over a drawbridge, loses half its front end upon landing, and just keeps on going like nothing happened. That's the Fast and Furious spirit right there, which we saw in later movies too, but it kept getting crazier. More on that later. Oh, and did I mention the pink nitrous flames? Yeah, it's pink and it's fabulous. I've saved the most iconic car for last, so stick around to see which Fast and Furious icon it is. Like this video and subscribe to our channel if you still haven't. Number 8, Lykan Hypersport. The scene from Furious 7 where Dom and Brian pull a Lykan Hypersport from one of Dubai's skyscrapers was just the beginning of this franchise's craziness. Bullets started flying and so did our heroes. They somehow built up enough speed with the Hypersport's 2.8 second 0 to 60 to smash through one skyscraper and crash land into the neighboring building. But here's where things got wilder. The throttle gets stuck on this $3.4 million beast, and Dom has to floor it for another adrenaline pump and jump to another building. Just when you think they pushed their luck too far, they bail out, and the Hypersport goes airborne once again, free-falling to the ground below. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment for this supercar, and the start of this franchise's wild imagination. Number 7, The Rock's Gurkha LAPV. When you've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a street racing movie, you can't just toss him into a fast JDM car. As much as we'd love to see him behind the wheel of Suki's S2000, the directors behind Fast 5 had better ideas for the 10-time WWE champion. Enter the Gurkha LAPV, a monstrous V8-powered beast tipping the scales at a whopping 7,500 kilograms. This thing is less a car and more like an armored troop carrier on steroids. We get just a small taste of it plowing through the streets of Rio and through walls. But believe me, its presence is more impressive than a fireworks show on the 4th of July. Number 6, the Flip Car. Fast and Furious 6 had one rule. There were no rules. And that's how we got the jaw-dropping flip cars scene. Imagine Brian and Dom cruising through the streets of London in sleek, blacked-out BMW M5s, hot on the trail of the bad guys. But then comes Owen Shaw, the big bad, rolling in with a stripped-down F1-inspired flip car. Now this flip car isn't just your average ride. It's got a GM LS3 engine, and its front end is a smart weapon. It's designed to wedge under regular cars at high speed, sending them flying up and causing chaos. And as smart as he may be, Brian was one of the victims of this trap. Number 5, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo V2. As O'Connor's undercover saga unfolds, he and Roman Pierce are handed two souped-up Mitsubishis. Roman goes for the Mitsubishi Eclipse, leaving O'Connor with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo V2, a ride every guy dreams of. I mean, that Evo V2 stole the show during an intense Miami freeway chase, where Brian does a 180-degree turn, gives Roman the finger, and races ahead in reverse. Fun fact, the Lancer Evolution V2 marked the Evo's official debut in the US. The movie car had a few style upgrades, but kept the stock 276 horsepower from its 4G63T engine. Still plenty to rock a quarter mile in just 13.3 seconds. Now that's how you rev up a Fast and Furious adventure. Number 4. Han's Veilside RX-7. When it comes to Japanese car culture, the mantra is simple: the weirder, the better. And for hardcore Fast and Furious fans, weird reached its zenith with Han's orange Mazda RX-7. Let's be honest, Tokyo Drift might not be everyone's favorite Fast and Furious movie, but it gave us one of the series' most iconic cars. That car wasn't your regular FD Mazda RX-7. It had gone through a full Veilside makeover, with orange paint and black stripes that turned heads from a mile away. As for performance, it was given a mild tune-up, including a custom intercooler, an HKS turbo kit, and some frosty spark plugs. The result was a sweet 306 horsepower and 257 pound-feet of torque. Number 3. Brian's R34 Skyline. Suki's S2000 might have grabbed the spotlight, but when it came to the street, Brian's Nissan Skyline R34 GTR was the real deal. It's one of the most iconic cars in the Fast and Furious universe, but my heart still hurts after that EMP harpoon killed this beautiful machine, especially since Brian returns to his tuner roots with his GTR in the opening race of Too Fast, Too Furious, which built to an epic climax with an insane jump. And Brian doesn't just clear a bridge in his Skyline R34, he jumped over another racer in a Supra and won. Today we're used to wild stunts in Fast and Furious, but back then, this race was as crazy as it could get. And number 2, Dom's 1970 Dodge Charger. This Charger isn't just strong, it's strong enough to make the chassis twist when it hits the road. Dom's 1970 Dodge Charger was the ultimate car, and it's not just his signature, it's the face of the Fast franchise. Dom and his Chargers are like an inseparable classic comedy duo. It's as natural as pairing a cold Mexican cerveza with your street racing crew, like a sandwich with no crust. Like Suki and her pink S2000, you get the drift. The Charger is Dom's go-to muscle car. When the going gets tough, this beast gets tougher, always helping Dom get the job done. It was also Dom's old man's ride, and they worked on it together when Dom was just a kid. Maybe that's why it keeps coming back. Sometimes as a nice Charger, with a huge EMP stuck behind it, other times as an off-roader. But I have to be honest, that classic Charger look, the OG monster from the Fast and Furious, is what won fans over. And number 1, Brian's Toyota Supra. The MK4 Toyota Supra is not just any car, it's the 10-second car. This iconic car is the glue that holds the Fast and Furious family together, and the catalyst for daring Brazilian bank heists, and the reason overnight parts from Japan became a thing. Some might argue that Dom's Charger steals the show, but it's this bright orange Toyota Supra that takes the crown. In that epic final drag race between Dom and Brian, both the Charger and the Supra unleashed all they had. The Charger even threw in a wheelie as they raced towards a railroad crossing. But Brian's orange Supra won, and made the Supra so famous that it's become more expensive than the black Ferrari it beat in the movie. Well, that's all for today's episode. Which one of these cars do you think is the most iconic? Let us know in the comments below. I love hearing your thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Until then, take care.